Hello, it's Robin. This video is going to be a very chatty video. It is going to be about how I come to find planner soulmates, my journey with planners, and how I've added and selected planners to be part of my collection. I want to start right off with a disclaimer acknowledging the fact that planners are utilitarian. They're functional objects in our lives that help us be organized or help us store projects, hobbies, our thoughts, our dreams in writing. And if that were the only thing that a planner did, then really there's no purpose for a leather cover or any kind of a cover. You could do that type of thinking and planning on a regular spiral notebook, on Post-it notes, on scratch paper, in a variety of different ways that doesn't involve a planner per se. I view planners as almost like my video says, like a soulmate of sorts. In the same way that I wouldn't want to shop for a soulmate online, I do not like the idea of shopping for planners online. I live in a little larger metropolitan area, Minneapolis, and even though there are planners available in stores such as Joann or Michael's or Hobby Lobby, they are not the types of planners that I am interested in adding to my collection at this moment. I do not have anything against those planners. They are just not anything, like I said, that I want to have as part of my collection at this moment. I prefer real leather planners. I have a variety. I have some Filofax. I have some Hobonichi. I have Gillio. I have a Mulberry. And I have Chic Sparrow, and those are the ones that I prefer. But even though I know that they are my preference, there's a difference from notebook cover to notebook cover, from planner to planner. And for me, the ultimate determination of whether something joins my collection or moves on into somebody else's hands really begins when I open a box or an envelope and get that planner in hand and can experience it with my senses. A planner to me is intimate, it's personal. I seek a long-term relationship with my planners. There are objects that I hope to grow old with, to make memories in and with. When I talk about the sensory part of a planner, I'm talking about how the leather looks, its scars, its lines, its natural characteristics, its coloring, the stitching that the artisans put into the construction of the planner itself, the squared or round corners, the glossiness that it develops when it patinas. There are just so many things that are visual aspects of planners. There is the feeling of the planner in your hand. There's the feeling of the leather itself, its crunch or squeak, its texture. And then, of course, with leather products, there's the smell. All of these factors in and of themselves are wonderful things to consider when it comes to a planner. But for me, that sensory piece of a planner has to match with the functionality of that planner, what I intend to use it for or what I can use it for in my planning and notebook needs. So when those two things come together, when the beauty of the object matches the functionality and the inserts and books that I'm intending or that I place inside, when those things come together and it makes a match, that planner becomes it and joins my collection. I've had planners come and go. I've bought and sold a ridiculous number of planners in my journey, and it's always interesting to me that there have been times where I have been in search of a particular size or color or texture of planner, and it's taken me a while to find that planner that I'm looking for, and I will purchase the planner, get it in my hands, and discover that it is not what I in fact needed for one reason or another. Then there are other moments where I have done a spontaneous purchase of a planner that I hadn't intended on purchasing at all. I just saw it online, thought it looked beautiful, maybe it was a good price, and I say to myself after I purchase, oh, what did I do? I did not need another planner. And I get that planner in my hands, open the package, and fit it with a notebook, and voila, it becomes an it planner. It has the it factor. The sensory pieces and the functionality come together and it sticks. So in front of me, what I'm sharing with you tonight is my collection of black planners. It seems to be my current kind of phase that I'm going through. Well, just really quickly, I'll tell you what these planners are. Some of them you've seen in previous videos. The one on top is a Gillio Mia Cara pocket size. It is one that I decided that I wanted to go on a hunt for, and I was fortunate enough to purchase this from the Gillio website in their good deals corner. I have no idea why it was there. For the love of anything, I could not find anything wrong with it. But this sparked my interest in my journey with black planners, and specifically the black planners with the contrasting stitching. I use this as a wallet. I don't necessarily plan in it. I use the rings to store cards, and I like to have my cards, although it's ridiculous to carry the amount that I carry around. If I don't see them, out of sight is out of mind, so they don't get used. So that is a planner that I've been using for some time now, and I love it. I move in and out of it. I trade it around a little bit, but I won't part with it because it works for me. The next planner that you've seen in my videos is my A6 Chic Sparrow Creme Black Beauty. I'm taking my time to make sure that I get all of the words and lettering right. This planner was not my next black planner, but this planner, when I got it, had an it factor to it also. The red, black, and white combination with the Minneapolis theme and the notebook cover that I had made for it, the cards that go in the pocket, the other decoration, everything just works in this notebook. I love the texture. I love the smell. I like the Chic Sparrow Traveler's Notebook with this particular Hobonichi book. I think that they work well together. I don't think that I'd enjoy a Chic Sparrow folio as much as I enjoy this because of again, the functionality of the pockets and that kind of decorative, that I can decorate the pockets and make them cute and add charms, adds to what I enjoy about this book, and this planner works for this book. So this is an it book for me. I also purchased, when I got this Black Beauty one, I purchased the Maverick, the same exact Chic Sparrow design, A6 Deluxe, in a different leather, the Maverick. And it did not have an it factor to it. It was a gorgeous planner. Oh my gosh. If I were to frame that planner and put it up on my wall as a work of art, that's where it belonged. Functionally, it did not work for me. I personally found the leather too stiff and inflexible to wrap around, even, especially my smaller book I tried, but what I had purchased it for was to be a cover for my A6 5-year Hobonichi, and it just did not work. I think I showed you in a video that the cover came too close to the edge of the book. It didn't sit well. I did end up taking my book out of that plastic folder that I had constructed, but I found this again, in my black and white theme, I found the Darcy ink with the older contrasting stitching on it in the buy-sell trade group, and I snapped it up, and I said I'm going to go back to the leather that I know that I love, the Darcy. I love the smooth as much as I love the texture, but for this notebook, same colors, this works for this book far better than the Maverick did for me. So this is going to be a keeper. I like the idea that the black can be decorated with different colors, but I really don't decorate or do any kinds of, I don't really need the pockets in this one. I probably could have done just a regular, non-deluxe Chic Sparrow in this leather and would have been happy also, but I think I'd rather have pockets and not need them than need them and not have them. So this works for me. This is replacing the thing that the notebook cover that I showed you. I showed you that I'd gotten to replace the Maverick. I found this Sojourner notebook in a buy-sell trade group. It is a widened A6 folio. So it just has the, two side, not secretarials, I guess, slip pockets for the covers of the book. Slot for a card or something on either side of the book, and it's very simple. It's got the beautiful pocket with the red stitching on the front, and although this is a beautiful planner, the quality is phenomenal. The smell is wonderful. The texture is beautiful. This is a gorgeous piece of leather. It's a gorgeous planner, but with the book and what I wanted it for, it's just not it. I don't know how else to explain it, but when I put it all together, it didn't sing to me the way that other combinations do. And rather than put this on my shelf and imagine that perhaps someday I would have a need or want to move into this planner, I would much rather have it go to somebody who would appreciate it and use it. So it is, and I'm in the process of looking for a buyer for that cover. So my A5, I cannot stop calling this an A5. My 5-year Hobonichi is now in my Darcy cover, and it's going to stay there. So I've got the black and the black. My last planner that I'm going to share with you is an example of something that I did not think that I would love, and I got it in my hand and put the book that I wanted to use it for and the purpose for the book all together in the right package, and this planner is one of my favorites. As simple and plain as black leather is, this just works for the purpose that I have put it together for. This is a B6 Appunto from Gillio, and with the B6 craze that continues to kind of circulate amongst the planner people, I decided that I wanted to try the B6 also. I tried the Stalogy notebooks, and they're really not my favorite notebooks. And I think that was why I purchased this, is to see if I could use this for the B6 Stalogy at work for notes. And I have just decided that Stalogy is not for me. I just don't enjoy the paper and the experience, that textural feeling of the paper, as much as I enjoy Hobonichi. Hobonichi does not make a B6 notebook. So what is a person to do? Well, a person could take a Hobonichi Cousin that they had and hadn't used for one reason or another. This one happened to be an art book that I was thinking that I would do my journey learning watercolors and watching videos and taking notes, and have this as my art notebook or my learning book for art. And I didn't keep it up, but I'd already used pages, so I couldn't necessarily use this for school because it had things in it. So I took it to Staples and I had them cut whatever the measurement to make it B6 size. I had them cut the side here. They at that store, they refused to cut the bottom because they said because there's glue here, they wouldn't use their cutting tool. I've had other Staples cut all the edges before, but this one wouldn't. So I brought it back home and I cut it myself, and this actually didn't turn out too badly. Because of the function of this book, this doesn't bother me, this jagged area here, because this is my total garbage hoarding book. I've just got stamps. It's not very decorative. I've got a few things in the pockets of it, some sticky notes that I enjoy. My favorite my favorite card that I found some time ago. But years ago, I used to have one of those desk calendars by Russell and Hazel, the blank ones that you can fill in the dates in. And I very much enjoyed having something to doodle on when I was on the phone, jotting down odd phone numbers that were important until I accomplished something that I was looking for, or the person that I needed to talk to, I didn't need to hang on to the number. Testing pens or trying out different colors and just being goofy on it with no real intent to keep. But what I found is there's enough information on there that wasn't really information that I wanted to transfer into my ringed planner for long-term keeping, but it wasn't information that I was willing to part with either. So I enjoyed that calendar for that reason, but the problem is that I was unwilling to part with the pages. So I still, from 2 years ago, have the pages of that Russell and Hazel calendar folded and behind my desk on the odd chance that there's some information on there that I might want to see, or a doodle, or some memory that I want to refer back to. And when I gave that up, when I gave that desk calendar up, I really missed having that. So it dawned on me that people have brain dump sections in their ringed planners. I didn't necessarily want to put a brain dump section in my ringed planner. It's already chunky enough, in my opinion. To put that section in would be extra weight that I didn't need to carry around. But a book that I kept on my desk was a great place to keep information, and clearly this will last me probably for a number of years at the rate I'm going. I've been using this since perhaps I got the notebook before I purposed it with this, and I hung on to it for a while. But I think I started using this in January of this year. It's now April, and I've only used a small chunk of it, but there's a little bit of everything in here. There's doodles, there's me trying to do hand lettering, playing with blending colored pencils. When I get on a quest for a certain type of fountain pen, I'll write down the information about that fountain pen so that I have it to refer back to punch into the computer for searches. Repurposing notebooks, some different ways to title things, ideas, washi. There's just everything in here, and none of it is really important things, but I still enjoy going back through and looking at the notes that I take and having some place to keep all of those notes. So that's what this book is. It's, like I said, it's my garbage hoarding. And it just works in this notebook. So the notebook itself, the smooth texture, the color, the idea that it can be tossed around and won't look grubby without being too fancy for a garbage notebook. I really, really like that. I would strongly encourage, if any of you have an extra notebook laying around, to try to use it for that function, just to play with and do nothing important in. Is really kind of fun and freeing. So those are my black notebooks, and my collection, and my story about planners. I leave you with one parting thought. In all of this, I mentioned at the beginning of the video that I am, it's embarrassing to me to think of the number of planners that have gone through my hands over my years of being a planner junkie. I believe that, I should rephrase, I'm grateful for the fact that there are brands of planners that hold their value. And of course, in every planner, there are probably certain colors that are a little bit more desired at a moment than other ones. But for the most part, the Gillio products really do hold their value in the buy-sell trade group, as long as there's not some overwhelming damage or use to it. And there's a fine line. If it's on the newer end, it shouldn't have a lot of damage, but if you switch over and it's very used and very well loved, those planners have value too. The older and the more used can be very desirable. Chic Sparrow, I'm finding the same. I find that the Chic Sparrow notebooks hold their value quite well in the buy-sell trade group. So that gives me some peace of mind in that my journey to find planners that are it in the Chic Sparrow line and in the Gillio line, I can do that with some confidence that I'm not going to go bankrupt with buying planners that I am stuck with. I do have a few of those. I have a few planners sitting on my shelf that I have attempted to sell that just don't or won't sell for whatever reason. And so they remain. They don't bother me, but if I could find them other homes, it would make me happy because they're certainly not used by me. But so that's my note of, I guess my point with all of that is that a quality planner will hold its value, in my opinion. You know, I guess I'm not even going to finish that thought because I don't own other planner brands, so I can't speak to their resale possibilities. It may very well be the case that Foxy Fix and some of the other Filofaxes, for example, have a lovely resale value. I can speak to the ones that I'm familiar with and that I own, and these two particular brands are definitely, I mean, it goes through ups and downs in the community where it seems like nothing will sell for a stretch of time, and then there are other stretches where people can't find a thing and everybody's looking to buy something. But they're great groups to move things around, and I'm thankful that there are people who are willing to rehome planners that don't work for other people. So those are my thoughts about finding a soulmate for a planner. And as goofy as it sounds, they are almost like a boyfriend to me. They're somebody that you date, and if things don't work out, then you just kind of move on and you look for the next thing that will click. And when things do click, you know it in your heart. It sings to your heart a little bit. It's kind of another goofy way to put it in my words. But okay, so this has been, like I said, a very chatty video, and it's getting on to 23 minutes. So I'm going to end this. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I totally am loving all the comments that are popping up on my videos. I'm glad that you're enjoying them. If there's something that you want to see or know more about, know how I am doing something or my approach to it, please mention it in the comments, and I'd be really happy to have some ideas for videos to make. I'm not short on ideas, but I'd imagine that at some point it's going to become challenging. So I'll leave you with that. Have a lovely weekend, everyone, wherever you are. And if you're watching this before the weekend, of course, yada, yada, yada. All right. So yeah, that's it. And I'll talk to you again later. Bye.